Hello all, my name is Rahman and in this video we are going to work on handling user accounts which includes registering, logging in, logging out, etc. Along with this we are going to dynamically change the navigation bar to reflect if a user is logged out or not, logged in or not. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you remember in the last video we have designed our website using CSS framework, which is cascading style sheets. So we have designed our website like we have added the cards, we have added the navigation bar. So we were getting the navigation bar. So if you go to the previous video, we were getting something like the navigation bar in the in the red color on the blinker. Okay, so now it's getting in the red color. It was getting in the red color, but I have changed some codes, color code, which is in the file. So it was there. So I have modified that and I have changed the color, and then there I have to compile, and then so I have to compile that materialize CSS. I have to do all of those things. So I have done that using Collab. So in that video, I was not able to open the Collab, which is opened here. So as you can see here, okay. So this is the Collab that I have installed. So what you have to do is you have to click on this plus symbol, and then you have to go to the materialize src where you have downloaded this or where you have saved this one. So you can go there and open this one, materialize, and then after opening this, it's going to separate the JavaScript and then SAS files. So we have this SAS file. So what we have to do is we should click on this one, and then we should click compile. So I am not going to compile this because I have already done it before. So at that time I was getting some error, so I have done that using compile. I have done this thing. So you need to click on the compile, and then you need to come in the VS Code, and then what I have done is I'm going to open my file explorer, and then I'm going to open my site. So in the my site and in the main, okay. So in the main folder here, I have created a folder known as static. So at that time we were having three folders. So which was migration, templates, and pygame. So I have created this folder known as static. So when I'm opening this one, so in this folder also I have created another folder known as main. So let's click on this one. So in the main folder I have the CSS folder. So when I click on this one, I am getting materialize. So I got this from where it is. So I'm going to open my downloads. So from this one, I'm going to open this materialize RC where I have saved this one, and I'm going to click on this one. So from all of this, I'm going to click on the CSS. After compiling, we are going to have this materialize cascading style sheets document. So I have copied that from here, and then I have pasted in that here in the what we see in the main folder, and then we have CSS, and in the CSS folder we have pasted this materialized folder. So after that I have went over VS Code, and then so before this one I was not having this one, and I was having different line. So I copied this line. Okay, I fully copied this line, and then instead of this all of these things I have pasted that. Okay, and then we were having, so I want to show you that how I have done that. So I'm going to paste that one. So in this one I have here like static. So I'm going to click on the tiny MCE. So we don't have any tiny MCE anymore, so I'm going to type here main. So from the main I have done the CSS. So in the static folder we have main folder, but in the main folder also we have CSS folder, and in the CSS folder we have materialize folder where it is file. So I'm going to copy its name, Control C, and then I'm going to paste that one here. Okay, so now I'm going to close this one. Okay, so we don't have any. Okay, so we have done that. After that, what I've done is I have started running this like I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to, so it's still running. So I'm going to type here Python manage age.py run server. So when I'm entering this here, so it's showing me no issues, and it's showing me something like that. So I'm going to open our browser, and then I'm going to type here 127. So 127.0. We have all of these things. So we are getting that in the navigation bar in the blue color. And one more thing, if you see here, so here we are getting greater and smaller, greater symbols here. So I think, I don't know why it's getting. So now let's open our, and now let's see where we are getting. So we are getting that before the, before the navigation bar and after the, below the cards here. So I'm going to zoom in, and then I want to show you this one. Okay, so let's reset it. Okay, so now I want to remove that, it's not looking that much good. So now I don't know, I have done somewhere mistake. So before the navigation bar, which means that, so here this is header file. Okay, so in this one only we have the navigation bar. So before the navigation bar we don't have anything. And one more thing I forgot to show you, I think I have told you this one. So this is how we can give the, in the HTML file, this is how we give the comment. Okay, and so I think it's getting because of this one. I have given it extra, and let's check where it is. Okay, so we have done here also. So in the HTML we are going to give the comment something like this. So now I am going to run this one, Python manage.py run server, and then I'm going to open this one. So we are not getting anything. So now let's reload this one. So as you can see here, we were having that problem only. So we were having something like, we have given that one here. I'm going to just close this one. So we were having that error somewhere here. So I have added the greater than symbol here, extra. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started. So till now we have done that. So I said you that I have done something like this, all of these things, something like this. So now, alright, so now let's go ahead and start handling the user accounts, like registering and logging in, logging out. Along with this, we are going to dynamically change the navigation bar to reflect if a user is logged in or not. So to begin with, we need some way to create the users. We can actually manually create users now in our admin page, but of course we probably don't want to do that for every user on our website, right? So what I have to do is, for creating the website, I am going to /admin. I'm going to do that here, and then here I can add the users. For how many users we do that? Okay, for each time and every time I should go there and add the users. So, but of course we probably don't want to do that for every user. So Django already has a user model, so which may be find enough for you, or you can extend it later. So now let's go ahead and check that out. So I'm going to open the terminal here. I'm going to delete this one, and then I'm going to open that one here. So now let's open the Python 3, python 3 .py. So let's do this one. So as you can see here, we have, now I'm going to make this one big. So we are getting the interactive console. So I have opened the Python console. I want to exit this one. Control Z plus minus. So now I should give here it something like this. So now I want to clear this one. So now let's give here Python manage.py shell. So as you can see here, we are getting a interactive console. So okay, so now let's check that out, that we have a user model for Django or not. So for that, I'm going to type here from the Django.contrib. From Django.contrib, I'm going to .models. Okay, and then I'm going to import the user. So we are not getting anything. Okay, so now let's do one thing, dir, and then in the brackets I'm going to give here the user. So we are getting all of these things, so which means that we are not getting anything, does not exist. So we are saying these, all of those things are, we have lot of render methods, like we have the dig under method, we have dir under method, and saying the all of these are not going to not exist. So I think from all of these I'm going to use someone. So anyhow, let's exit this one, and I should give here exit. Okay, so now let's make this one smaller. So from the time we were, now let's make this one smaller. So from the time we were just interacting with the console, that we are checking that out, that as I said we have a Django user model. So I was checking that out, that is it having or not. So it's having. Okay, so now I am going to create a register file here, because if I run this program, if I run here the python python managed .py, I'm going to give here the run server. I have done here some mistake, it's taking some time. Okay, so I'm run server server. Okay, I'm doing some mistake. Server. Okay, so now I'm going to give here python manage.py run server. So it's showing us we are not getting any errors. So now I'm going to click on this follow link. I'm going to open this one, and then I'm going to open that here. So as you can see on the screen, we have these things. So if I make this some smaller, I'm going to make this one some smaller, and then we have this one home. We have, as you can see on the screen, we have home, we have register and login. So when I am clicking on this home, we are not getting anything, and then when I am clicking on this register, I am opening this page not found, I am getting something error. So I want to create this page. Okay, so now I am going to delete this one, close this one, clear all those. Okay, so I'm going to copy this file. I'm going to open the file explorer here, and then I have this code. Okay, so in this one I have this my site, and in the my site I have the main. So in the main folder we have this templates, and in this templates we have this main. So in this one we have this header, and then we have home. So now I am going to copy this one home, and then I'm going to paste that one here. Instead of this, I'm going to give here register. Okay, so this folder has been created. So let's open this one. So I'm going to see that here. So we have register.html, so which is same as home.html, because we have just copied that, and then what we have done is we have pasted that there. Okay, copied the home.html, and then we have pasted, and we have done with this thing. Okay, so now I am going to clear up all of these things, like from, let's give here, I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to remove this one, and then in the place, so we have this one. So in the place of this one, I'm going to give a tag here, HTML tag. So I'm going to give here form. Okay, and then method method. So form method, I'm going to give here is equals to the post. I'm going to give here the post, and then I'm going to give here the, I'm going to close the hashtag. Okay, so I am now, let's remove this one. So we are getting something like this. So now we have done with these things, like you have given form method post. Now I have to close this one. So I have to give here some more things. Okay, so now I'm going to give here the flower presses, and in this one I'm going to give here the percentage symbol 2 times, and in between of these two things I'm going to give it the CSRF token, CSRF, and then token. So I'm going to talk about what is CSRF token here. So CSRF token is basically synchronized token. Okay, for example, it's type of synchronized token. So CSRF token is secure random token that is used to prevent CSRF attacks. The token needs to be unique per user, session, and should be large random value to make it difficult to guess. A CSRF secure application assigns a unique CSRF token for every user session. So the full form of CSRF is cross, and CSRF full form is what we say cross site request forgery, something like this. So CSRF token is used for the security reasons. So we will be talking about this later on. So I have talked about it somewhat, so it's not right now. So now I'm going to create these things again, and then I'm going to give here form. Okay, and then I'm going to give here the hashtags, and in the hashtags /form. Okay, so it has came. And one more thing I want to talk about you is, if you see in some sites, in some websites, if you open that website and then if you want to log in into website, so when you are logging in, okay, so you will be getting there something like, if you have do you have an account, or you can log in instead, you will be getting something like that. So I want to have that one. So I'm going to give here, if you have account ACC, or you and the account created, if you have an account created, created. So if you have an account created, so now I am going to give here the comma, and then I am going to give here a, and then I am going to give here okay, and then in this one I am going to give here /login, okay, and then I am going to close this one, and again I am going to give here the login. So I have given, if you have an account created, then login here. So one thing I am forgetting, so instead instead. Okay, so now, so what will happen, what's going to happen here is, like, for example, if I open a website, and then for example when I open my website, and then if I go to the login page, and if I have logged there, for example, if I have logged in there, and then after some time I have logged out, okay, and after some days I have again logged in, then it's going to save that account. It's not going to permanently delete from that one. Okay, so and then that's why it's going to save. So when I'm clicking there, it's going to show me the email address, my email address. So it's going to show me all of those things. Okay, I have done the mistakes. So that's why what you can say is, if you have an already account created, you can log in instead, you can give something like that. Okay, so now let's modify our views file, because we have created the register, what we say register.html, this file, and now let's modify our views file. Where it is, I'm going to open the views, which is basically here only. So now I'm going to modify this one by adding our, again, a new definition. Again, this one, let's add here. Okay, so now let's give here def, and then I'm going to give here the register, register, okay, and in the brackets I'm going to give here the request, register request, and then I'm going to create a form, form, okay, and then I'm going to give here the equals. So as you can, if you remember, sometime before we have done something like, we have interacted with the modeling. Okay, so we have interacted with the user creation form, something like that. So we have done that one. So now I'm going to import that one here, and then I'm going to give that one here. So from ROM, okay, from Django, NGO, from DJ, okay, from Django.contrib, trib, and then from Django.contrib.auth.forms. Okay, and then I'm going to import the user creation form. So this is the one I want to import, because one more thing, if you remember, while we are registering, while we are logging in, we will get asked the email address. So when we are entering the email address and when we are entering the password, so if you forget the password, you will be having a option like forgot password, something like that. Okay, so you can give there something like that. So we have this form. So now, so with this one we can get a lot of things, like we can use the creation form for, we can get there the, what we say, forgot password. We don't need to add here because it's built in the Django itself. So we can do that here. So we can't do that here because it's already built in the Django. So now I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just imported this one, user creation form, and then I'm going to remove this one, and then I'm going to give here the return. Okay, and then return render. I'm going to render here. Okay, and instead of, so we got this one, all of these things. So I'm going to remove this template. So I don't want this one here. Okay, I'm going to tap that here, request, and then I'm going to give the like main slash, like I want to give here the register istr star.html. Okay, main slash sorry, I think I should give something like this. So main slash register.html. I have not given it the comma itself, so that's why we are getting a comma. And then I'm going to give here the context, context. Okay, context is equals to, I'm going to give here the flower presses. Okay, and in this one I'm going to give here again form. Then out of this one I'm going to give here form form. Okay, so I think I'm going to get this one, but one more thing, if you remember, I have to add the paths in the URLs files. So I'm going to open the URLs, which is here. Let's wait a second. Okay, I think we don't have all of this like from import. Okay, so we have this one. Now let's add that path here itself, path. Okay, and then I'm going to give this one in the path. Here I'm going to create this one, and let's give here slash register str. Okay, and I'm showing the error, invalid syntax. Okay, anyhow, so let's give here the comma. I'm going to give here the views, views. Okay, and views dot register, and then I'm not going to give the something like this. I'm just going to give the brackets, and then in the brackets, so views dot register comma, and then I'm going to give here the name is equals to the register, register. Okay, so I think I should give this one. Register. Okay, so now I'm going to not do anything. Okay, so now I think I should run this one. Before this one, let's make this one comment, and then I'm going to gain. Okay, so yeah, anyhow I'm getting the errors at the two places. So here we are getting, so I have not given here the comma. So now let's run this program. So now let's check whether I'm going to change this one, python manage.py run server. It's taking time. So anytime we were not going to get, but we are getting this one. So has roots trailing. Let's do one thing, reload this page. No, let's do one thing. For this one I'm going to close this one, and then instead of this one let's remove this one, and then I am going to give you register. Now let's check. I have not run this one. Python manage.py run server. So I think I am not going to get this one, something like this one. So register, let's click here itself. So we are getting the CSRF and load this tag. I think it's in the, wait a second. So in the here I have to give here the what we say form. Let's close this one. So form method is equals to the post, and what it is saying, CSRF token. So now let's do one thing. Let's open our VS Code. So now I have opened this. So I'm just going to close this one. So I'm going to check whether where is the error I have done. So header, it's going to extend in the header.html only. So we have this block content. Okay, so I think I am getting the error here because I have not given here the underscore. So now let's check whether let's give the underscore and then check whether we are getting the error or not. Okay, so now let's run this one. Let's delete, and then I'm going to run this one again. Python manage.py run server. Okay, so now I'm going to reload this page. Okay, so as you can see here, the error was here I have not given the underscore, so please don't do that mistake. Okay, so I have this one. So I have this page, like I have this username, I have required 150 characters or fewer letters, digits and symbols. These are only. So we can give all of these things. So we have this password confirmation, we have. So what I have done is I have given, like, if you have an account created, you can log in instead. Okay, so and then I have the enter the same password as before for verification. So I have done a lot of these things. So instead of this one, I can give my username, I can enter my password, and we have done all of these things. But now what I want to do is here what we say. So here we can enter the all of these things. Like for example, when I enter nice and then let's give here 1 2 3 4, and then let's give here 1 2 3 4. So I have done this one, still not. So we have not created the login page. So what it should do is it should have that one. We should get a submit button for submitting. Like for example, if I enter the username, the password, and then if I enter the password confirmation again, I should get the submit button, because if I don't submit, I am not going to log in on website, right? So that's why I need a submit button. Okay, so now one more thing I want to show you guys is that I'm going to close this one, not delete that one. So in the views one, not here. Okay, so as you can see here, I have given here the slash this one. Okay, because the reason here I have given the slash is that one. So after going to the register page, if I done something like I have given the, if I enter the, I have logged in, okay, and then there I will get again one more page, something like help page, something like any page. When I am clicking on that one, which is inside of our register page. Okay, so when I click on that page, I should go on the next page. Then I'm going to get the register slash something like help, something like this. I'm going to get that. Okay, so now, so as you can see here, we have this one username. I think you are not able to see our full thing. So we have these tutorials, I have this, all of these things. So now we have this one very at the very left of this screen. Okay, so I want to put this one in the, what we say, in the center of the page. Okay, and then instead of this one, I want to make the here some space. So now for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the, what we say, register.html. So I'm going to, before that one, let's make this one, and then before that one, I'm going to go to the header.html. So in the header.html, we have block content. So we have this body, block content, I have this one. So now let's do one thing. I'm going to create a tag here. Okay, so in the tag, I'm going to give here the class, and then a class equals, I'm going to give here the content, INER container. Okay, and then beside this one I'm going to give here something like this. I'm going to remove this div and let's give that one what we say div. Okay, I think I should make here some indentation or something like this. Okay, so now okay, so anyhow it's better like this only. So now I'm going to delete this one and then I want to run this one again. Python manage.py run server, it's running still. So now let's reload this page. So as you can see on the screen, we are getting this on the in the center of the page. Like for example, if some user opens our page, okay, so what's going to happen is, so our website will not look that much good. For example, when we register there, so after registering our page will not look that much good. Okay, so that's why I'm moving to the center and then here I should make some space. Okay, so for that I'm going to go in the register.html, just close this one, and in the register.html below the block content I'm going to give here the break. Okay, and then the R. Okay, so now something like this. So now I'm going to reload this one. So as you can see here, we are getting the what we say here, we are getting something like we are getting the space here. And one more thing I want to show you guys is that here where it is in our register.html, in our this one we have this login instead. So when I click on this page, we have not this page, so I'm going to create that later on. So instead of this login, I'm going to make this one some in the bold, something like that, in the bold font. Okay, so I have this here login and we login, and inside the login I'm going to give here the target. Okay, so in the target I'm going to give the blank, and beside the here I'm going to create the strong, and then okay, so I'm going to remove this one strong. Okay, and then here I'm going to give it this strong. Okay, so now I'm going to reload this one. So as you can see on the screen, the difference. So for the username I'm getting the underline, so wherever I'm clicking I'm getting this one something type of bold, something like this. So we are getting here the what we say the under this line is getting in the some color. So we have this login instead. So here let's remove this is not that much needed. So I should give something like this. So I don't want this A here. And then let's reload this one. So okay, so I think it was coming from the before style. So now let's go ahead and change the other colors. Like here I want to add a submit button there. For example, when I enter all of these things, like Nancy, I'm entering all of those things there, I should get our submit button. So I think I should not have been removed that one. Why? Save this one. Then I'm going to reload. Okay, so we don't have anything. So now let's go ahead and add our submit buttons. So what I will do is enter the same password as before for the verification. Okay, so here we have the what we say, enter the same password as before for the verification. So here I should get a something like register button or sign up or sign in button, whatever it is. So now I'm going to open my VS Code, and then here, so now I'm going to add some tags like buttons and then okay. So now for that I'm going to give here the what we say button, BUTT button, and then I'm going to give here something like class. Okay, and then in the class I'm going to give it the beta BTN for the button. Okay, and then I'm going to give here the style. So I want to be some style. I want a style for the button. Okay, so if you open some websites, if you see on YouTube, okay, so below the video there will be subscribe button. Okay, so I want something like that button. So I'm going to give the color, okay, and then background color, okay, and then instead of this one I'm going to give here, let's keep in the red, okay, and then beside the red I'm going to give here this one, and now I'm going to, okay, so now let's, I think I'm going to give color, okay, and color is equals to white, white, something like this, okay, and here also I should get a semi quotation marks. Here I have done, but I should not give that one here. Okay, white. Now we have got white, and then I'm going to give it the type. Okay, and then type equals, I'm going to give here the submit button I want here, and then after that I'm going to give here the register, something like this button. So now I'm going to, I think it's still running this one. So now I am going to reload this page, and then as you can see on the screen I am getting a register button. Okay, so that's what I was saying, like I want a button for clicking after submitting, like what we say. Let's give here the 9 sayed 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 4. Still it's getting something like this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to redirect this to the home page, and then there I should get a message that you have logged in on this website, you have done something like this, you have done, okay, so you have logged in onto that website. So I want to get something like that. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video. So in the next video I am going to talk about the messages, like for example if I register here, and then I should I should redirect to the home page, and then in the home page here I should get something like you have registered onto this website, or you have done something like that. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video. So if you have any questions, give it in the comments below, and please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you, bye.